anything like me, you love breakfast food. And today I'm going to be making baked omelet squares. They take a lot of eggs, cheese, olives, mushrooms, really kind of anything you want to throw in it. And when you're done, you have a delicious, warm, huge omelet that you can cut up into pieces and serve to your friends and family. So, if you want a delicious breakfast, let's make some. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Then we need to grease a 9 by 13 inch baking dish. To use some vegetable shortening. Okay, looks good. Now put a skillet over medium heat and melt 1/4 cup of butter, which is half a stick. Now we need to scramble 12 eggs with some milk, salt, and pepper. So it's a whole dozen eggs, milk, salt, and pepper. So break the eggs, 1 hard break would do it. Careful to not get any shell. There we go, 12 broken eggs. Now that the 1/4 cup of butter is melted, we need to add 1 whole onion that's been chopped. That means cut into tiny pieces, but not super tiny. Stir this around and keep an eye on it. And it says cook until tender, which means the pieces will start to become translucent and a lot of the juices will leak out. And they'll be nice and soft. So just, keep an eye on it, cook over medium heat in the butter until nice and tender. While you're waiting for your onions to become tender, we can layer our dish with the cheese, mushrooms, and olives. You need 1.5 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, which is 12 ounces. If you want to go by weight, sometimes that's easier. If you're cooking with cheese, honestly, it's best to buy a block of the most, fresh, organic, local cheese you can get and shred it yourself. In the interest of time, you can always buy it, shredded bags, which works just as well. Cheese is one of my favorite foods. So the more organic and natural it can be, usually the better it tastes. So spread this out. Now we need to cover this cheese with 12 ounces of sliced white mushrooms. And you could slice them more than this if you want. I just bought them pre-sliced. Spread those out as best you can as well. Now we need to spread 6 ounces of black olives on these. Okay. Now if you don't like black olives, feel free to use green, or don't use olives at all if you don't like olives. Okay, now at this point the onions are pretty tender. It can take anywhere from like 4 to 10 minutes. So it's said to spread those over them as evenly as possible. And you can add some jalapeno peppers, which I cut up a few slices of. So feel free to layer those on top as well. I'm going to leave part of it without the jalapenos just for people in my family who aren't a big fan. With our eggs, we need to add in 1/2 cup of milk and then whisk them all together. And it said to salt and pepper this to taste. It said about a half a teaspoon, so I'm just going to do there. Okay, now we can pour this in our 9x13 baking dish and get it in the oven. Alright, now we can pour our egg, milk, salt, and pepper mixture over our other ingredients. It says, but do not stir. So I'm just going to go from one side to the other. I'm going to press it all down a little bit. Make sure it all absorbs as best as possible. Okay, let's get this in the oven. Now we're going to put this in our oven at 400 degrees for half an hour, or until it's no longer runny in the center and it's slightly brown on top. Get our oven open, get it in there quickly, shut it, and check on it anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes, see how it's doing. Alright, it's been the whole half hour, about a minute less. I'm going to check on it, see how it's doing. I think it's good. I don't think it's runny in the center anymore, and it definitely looks brown on top. So, take it out, let it cool to room temperature, cut it up into squares, and we'll try some. Alright, I've let my egg omelet cool down a bit, and I've cut it into 12 roughly equally sized pieces. Now the fun part, see how it turned out. It smells really good. It's really good. The cheese melted. It's very nice, rich, and creamy. The onions are nice and savory, but they're not too strong. The olives are good. The mushroom's good. It's a great, hearty breakfast. Good luck. If you want a nice, delicious breakfast, look no further.